Well, welcome to another episode of The Real Franchise where we're actually meeting some of the team. Today we're jumping interstate down to Cockroach Country in good old New South Wales. So big welcome to Appy. So thank you, Appy, for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Now, I guess at the start, before we dive into, all these sort of questions about, how you've been finding it and what you've been learning and that sort of stuff, would you mind sharing a bit about, I guess, your background, what you were doing before James, maybe how you saw us, what made you join? So I'll hand over to you and obviously introduce yourself and where you are within the state of New South Wales. It'd be cool.
No worries. Hi, guys. My name's Apisai. I'm in Marsden Park, northwest of Sydney. Before James Home Services, I was working in warehousing, did a lot of management. It was good work, good money, to be honest. But the biggest issue for me was family. So family time. So, for example, with management, you had to work through the Christmas time, obviously working with food and that within the Coles industry. You work through Christmas, New Year's. They give you an option to work whether the one-day Christmas or have New Year's off. So which was, you couldn't really tell them, can I have 2 days off, both of them off? It was never like that. But so I used to suck it up and just go with it. I think just after a while, just started playing the toll on the family, myself. Just not being there when it mattered, like I've got 5 daughters, as you know, I've got 5 daughters. they're all into their sports. So it was important for me to be there for them, especially because netball, and it was something that I wasn't familiar with, when the kids were coming through. But I've grown pretty fond of the sport. I'm pretty into it now. So you'll find me there. I'm one of the dads going, hey, that's stepping. That's a contact.
That's right, because they do netball. Is that right? They're into netball? Yeah.
I was just missing out on all that. Not just that, especially the Christmas and New Year's. These times to me is about family, being there together.
Yeah.
Sharing time and stuff like that. And I was missing out on all that, and I couldn't deal with that anymore. So
yes.
So without even looking for any work, I sort of had a look around and what I was gonna do. Sort of if and ahhing, and then I ended up changing shifts with the warehousing. I was on the night shift, changed to the Arvos, working. I cut back on my hours a lot there. And then I came across James Home Services. I was just looking online, just something that I forget what I was Googling, but I just needed a big change because the opportunity in warehousing kept coming through. And I just kept turning it away. I was just like, nah, this is not right. I've got to do something else. So, and I just stumbled across you guys and best time ever.
No, good. Awesome. And so you found us, you went through this information process, went through your training, started your business, and you happened to, from memory, start right at the beginning of winter in Sydney. That's probably... in hindsight now, probably one of the toughest times of the year to start. So, and that's a question I get asked a lot, how do we handle winter? And you're one of our national trainers now, so I'll get you to talk about that in a sec. But I guess, how did you get through that first winter? What sort of strategies and how did you learn to handle that?
Yeah, it was the good thing with James. Obviously, I can't speak for anyone else because I haven't been a part of them. But the good thing with James is just the support. Obviously, I tried my own things going out there, going back on the 8 steps, the 51 ways of starting your business, stuff like that. So went through all that process, and I sort of just got a bit overwhelmed, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get out there. Obviously, the lawn's started slowing down. So I just had to find that another way of putting my business out there. So And, I spoke to my coach, Sonia, she still catches up to me today, by the way. I'm nearly two in, and she still keeps in touch with me every now and then. Usually every month, she'll give me a text or just see how I'm doing, which is pretty cool, At this time in my business, like you just think that, Appy's been with us nearly 2 years now, no need to get in contact with him. But, like without me even reaching out, she'll just reach out to me just randomly and just ask how I'm going, how's the business, how's the family, which is good, That's one, it's not just about business, it's about family too.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
And she always asks us that question as well, which is good. So I reached out to Sonia and I just said, like, Sonia, I'm really struggling to bring in the work at the moment. I'm doing the pamphlet drops and knocking drops. I'm dropping in at the real estate. There's just some other stuff like that. And she said, just look, I'll send you some Facebook tiles, I'm pretty sure it's called.
Yes, that's right.
And changed my marketing strategy. So instead of because I was just posting mowing and stuff like that, she said, like, obviously the lawns are dying now, we've got to change it up and more focus on your garden side of things, hedges and stuff like that. And then that's when she brought the idea about, if you've seen any neighbours with hedges and that. And I was, I've got a neighbour across the road. I'll go and hit this bloke up and see where this takes me. So I went and knocked his door and just offered my services, obviously, and for a reduced price. But I asked in return if you could give me a 5-star review, obviously, if you're impressed with my work, and if you could take some photos for my Facebook and stuff like that. So they went out, I did it, finished. Well under what I'd normally charge now, but, I did get a 5-star review out of it, and I got so much work come through before and after videos we did. So I obviously got my daughters, they're pretty high tech in that side of things. I think it's called cat cut. They did a cat cut recording and it turned out really nice. So put it on to community pages, and then as soon as you know it, my phone was going hard out for doing hedges.
So you're doing a lot of hedges in your first winter?
Yeah, I got through a lot of hedges in the first winter. And you did a lot of gardening work, a lot of pruning and stuff like that. But I think just going through that process sort of got me ready for the next winter. So when it got busy, a lot of my regular clients were asking to get their hedges done or some gardening work. And I just explained to them. A lot of them understood. I just said, look, this is our busy time, obviously growing season. We're a bit flat chat with the lawns and stuff like that. We will get it done. It's just it's bad timing right now, but we'll get close to autumn and stuff, and then we'll start organising your hedges and stuff. So I banked up quite a bit of work, which was good for pretty much the first half of winter. I was pretty busy with just my regular clients, attending all the garden work and stuff like that. So obviously I knew that it was going to die off soon, so I kept up my marketing on social media, just to try and that extra work and that. So it was pretty good.
Good. Okay, that banking, I love that. Banking jobs for winter. I think we often talk about that. That's such a key. And so on that, because that's one of the things we train people in, you've obviously got through that. You run a great business. So we've, made you one of our national trainers. So part of, in other episodes, we've talked about the training and what happens in the training. So the first part's in the classroom. Second part is if they're lawn and garden in New South Wales, they'll be coming and working with you in your business, and you'll be over 4 days. What do you do over those 4 days? So if someone's listening thinking, rightio, so I'm going to be with Appy doing some training, what happens?
So we'll just go through the whole process with the lawn and gardens. A lot of the times we refer back to the 8 steps just to help the guys get through. We just all the 1%ers with the lawn and garden. A lot of the guys always assume, even myself, to admit I was one of them. I thought, I know all this lawn and garden stuff. I went there and then couple of years back when I did my training, I had the same situation where it's like, oh no, when you're doing your vertical edge, you got to hold it like this. And I was like, oh, no, never even thought that. I should just hold it like this. Just little things, man. And it just comes in handy. I even had a question like, so when you're blowing and you got the, some lawns are like from here's your driveway. How do you get the clippings on top? And then say just little things. I just said, when you're blowing, you get closer, you blow it down like this, and it shoots it all up onto the grass. And then, the little things like that, I didn't even realize. So when we're going through the process and we're filling out the checklist, and I was like, oh, blowing. And we didn't even go through anything about the blowing. Because, remember you told me when you blow it, yes. And I was like, see, the little things like it just passed you, but it's so it's good for you to learn all these things. And the biggest one too, a lot of the guys question myself is the quoting side of things. So when we do specific yards, I'll ask them like, well, would you quote for this job? And then they'll give their price, and then I'll let them know what I quote for this. So over that 4 days, you sort of get an idea of what I'm quoting on my particular yards. So it gives you a good idea when it's your time to quote.
Excellent.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but there's a lot to learn when you go out there, especially when you come out with me and do the lawn and gardens. Always trying to tell the guys to take their time, make sure perfect the job sort of thing. We got to try and deliver metal service. It's very important. You want to deliver a job where your client will come outside and just like, wow, man, I couldn't do it. I was doing it myself. Man, that looks fantastic. Yeah. Sort of, it's always, I always find that's very important for myself to deliver a completed job where the clients just look at it and just like give it the wow factor.
Yeah. Yep. No, that's great. Well, one last question for you. Now, a lot of people that watch these sort of episodes are thinking of going into business. It might be James, it might be something totally different. You've been in your own business now for 2 years. Do you have any pearls of wisdom, things that you've learned maybe the hard way that you think would be worth passing on to someone? So any sort of lessons that you've learned in your 2 years?
Yeah, I think hard side of things. To speak of the good things, the first thing that's come to my head is the starting your own business. I shared earlier where I was working in warehousing. Yeah. So me in my own business now, and this was the biggest part of me starting my business because I can sort of dictate when I work. So now I sort of like work around my family, whereas before was family comes to work first. So that's been a big plus for me. I try my best to not work weekends, but obviously when it gets busy like this, family understands as well. I'll go do like at least half a day on a Saturday. To bring in the extra money and just keep up with my workflow as well. But majority of the time I don't work weekends. So my preference to be home when family's at home. I want to be there too. So even if we're not doing anything, man, we just kick back
with the kids
and chill. Best time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you mentioned you're heading off to Fiji again.
Oh, yeah.
So I bet you didn't have to ask your boss, or you might have to ask your wife whether you could go. But you're your own boss.
That's a good thing you point up there too, because obviously things like this, I had to get a pre-approval in management as well, because it's very tough to get time off in management. One being there's only a few of us, like for example, there was 3 of us and a shift manager. So you had to work together. I had to get someone to cover my shift or something like that. So it was really tricky to get off the specific time that you needed off. Whereas now you can sort of just plan my workload, get my workload done by this time, notify clients that are due for service next week. Because usually now too, wouldn't be an ideal time for me to take a break, but obviously I can't tell my mate to change his birthday party. So, time off, just notify the clients. A lot of the clients, I don't have any dramas with clients if I can't come through. I like to give them a heads up though. A lot of them, I feel like a lot of them just like, like extra $80 in my pocket next week. Beautiful.
Yep. Because you didn't do the job. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of positives. So I'm starting the business. To be honest, it's very hard to think of any
tough stuff, any points. Yeah. Well, thanks, Appy, for today and for taking some time out. I know it's a scorcher down there in Sydney at the moment. So, thanks for your time and really, have a great time in Fiji as you head over there for your mate's birthday.
Oh, well, I'm excited. I think the body already realizes I'm going to waste. It's starting to get in Fiji time mode now.
Yeah, I've already had chilling, starting to relax a bit. Awesome.